Hi guys, so I'm going to read Fantastic Four annual number 4. So this is published in November 1966. So this is right after, we're not going to, we're going to do number 67 right after this issue. Because this came before number 67. But the sensation of the century, the original Human Torch, actually returns from the past to battle Johnny Storm. Extra bonus, you'll finally see the origin of the Human Torch as created in 1939. So so on the channel I read the Human Torch, his first story. And the second story is a reprint of the Hulk versus Thing. We haven't read that yet. But plus the most requested battle representation in comics history, the Thing versus the Incredible Hulk. Exactly as immortalized in FF numbers 25 and 26, enough said. So from the ashes of the past comes a mind-staggering menace, the torch that was, featuring Wyatt Wingfoot, the Mad Thinker, Lockjaw, the fabulous Fantastic Four, the amazing android, and the electrifying entity known as Quasimodo. Conceived and created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, scenarist and illustrator, linked and lettered by Joe Sen and Sam Rosen, delineator, calligrapher, recited and ignited by Irving Forbush, part-time non-entity. So yeah, the Mad Thinker was another villain of Fantastic Four's. We haven't seen him, or I haven't read his stories yet. They were in the earlier issues. Quasimodo's a new villain, though. So if home is where the heart is, then the top 5 floors of the famous Baxter Building are certainly home to one of New York's most colorful tourist attractions, the fabulous Fantastic Four. Fan mail, phooey. The torch gets twice as much as ever loving me. I guess good looks don't count anymore. Even the Yancey Street gang must have forgot about me. Not even one crummy little booby-trapped letter to make a fella feel wanted. Count your blessing, Ben. At least there aren't too many bills. There will be, dear. I went shopping last week. It's cheaper for us to fight villains than to let you get spare time on your hands, honey. Hey, here's one from some old timer asking if we know anything about the original Human Torch. Is he trying to call Johnny an imitation or something? No, Ben. There was another Human Torch. A much older one. More than 20 years ago. Is that so? Clue me in, Stretcho. I don't remember too much about him, except that I saw him in action a few times during the war. He was amazing. There seemed to be nothing he couldn't do with that flaming body of his. But there were rumors that he wasn't really human. Nowadays, who is? Suddenly, before another word can be uttered, a startling blast of light bathes the room in a blinding, searing aura of indescribable brilliance. Sue, your force field, quickly. It could be an attack. Knots. What are they fighting us now? Flashbulbs? Look, from within the glare, something is emerging. It's Johnny, with Wyatt and Lockjaw, the Inhuman's dog. Wyatt, something went wrong. We're not inside the barrier. That voice. It's your sister, Johnny. We've come home. Johnny, we thought you were still in the Himalayas trying to reach Crystal and the other Inhumans. That's mighty interesting. Oh, we were, sis, and then we managed to find Lockjaw. We figured only he has the power to break through the negative zone that imprisoned them. He was our one hope. That's mighty interesting, son. Now how's about saying it in English? The giant dog remembered Johnny, so we tried to coax him to return to the Inhumans by using his power to bridge the dimensional gap. But although Johnny got him to pierce the dimensions for us, he brought us to the wrong destination. You mean Lockjaw brought you here? If we could ever find a way to harness his dimension-piercing power. I don't want to harness anything. All I want is to see Crystal again. And we almost made it. We almost made it. It's Lockjaw's fault. He was trained always to lead people away from the Inhumans, so they wouldn't be found. He can't help himself. Looks to me he can help himself pretty blame good. Don't, don't, Johnny. It's not the end of the world. I failed. I've lost Crystal again. I read that the wrong way. Sorry. It's the end of my world. It's not yet hopeless. We still have the dog. If we can prevent him from vanishing again, perhaps he can be persuaded to remain with us if we feed him adequately. Look at the size of that bucket of milk. And you used to complain when I asked for a second help in the cream soda. Quiet, Ben. Don't disturb him. Wait, I just thought of something. But Reed's sudden warning comes too late. A bolt of electrical energy. What did you put in that milk, Wingfoot? I should have known. Lockjaw converts the food he devours directly into raw power by drinking too much milk too fast. Okay, save the 11 o'clock news. We get the idea. You gave the blasted pooch a light case of heartburn. But our scene now shifts to a hidden laboratory where we find an old enemy of the FF, engaged upon his newest and most deadly experiment. I'm gonna have to give him a voice, I don't know. After all these years of searching, planning, computing, I have finally found him. Now nothing can stop me. At last, total victory is almost within the grasp of the Thinker. After this, never again will the world dare to call me mad. Now to open the nitrogen chamber and survey the results of my beautiful, brilliant handiwork. I am your master. Has your memory returned? Speak, I command you. Yes, I remember. Years ago, I was in a glass chamber once before, put there by Professor Horton. Of course, my specialty is creating androids. That is why I spent years searching for you. For you were the first android. Yes, Master. That is what Professor Horton said to the reporters when he first demonstrated me. I remember it clearly now. Professor Horton was proud of me, but beneath his pride I could sense fear. He looks as human as any of us, Professor. But why do you keep him in a glass cage? Something went wrong with my calculations. Though he is perfect in every other respect, when it comes to in contact with air, his body immediately bursts into living flame. It's unbelievable. Alas, it is all too true. Should he ever break free, he could prove to be the most dangerous menace the world has ever known. And now, gentlemen, prepare yourselves. I shall demonstrate. Notice when I add the smallest amount of oxygen into the chamber. He becomes transformed into a veritable living, breathing human torch. It's true, his body's on fire. You must destroy him while you can. Destroy my greatest creation? Instead of destroying me, Horton had me entombed in solid concrete until he could find a way of controlling my deadly flame. He'll be safe there while I continue my studies and research. But the professor was wrong. For a short time later, though I'm free. There had been the slightest crack in the concrete, allowing some oxygen to seep through. It was all I needed. Beyond that, I remember no more. Good. It suits my purpose for him to think of himself as a menace, not knowing that he later became a fighter for justice. Your total memory will return later, but for now you must serve only me. But I am in the air now. Why do I not burst into flame once more? Because the genius of the Thinker has found a way to control your power. Never forget, just as I have brought you back to life, so I can destroy you again. In an instant, should you ever disobey me. And now, listen closely. I have a task for you. A mission of destruction. You dare not fail me, for your very life depends on it. And now that our spectacular stage is set, let the action begin. I can't hang around doing nothing, waiting for that fool dog to help me find Crystal. While Reed studies Lockjaw's powers, I've got an idea of my own that I've been itching to try. If it works, I may yet manage to break through the Inhuman's negative zone. But I've got to find some isolated spot where no one can be injured by what I'll do with my flame. My best bet is the rolling patch of desert which lies just over the rim of the hills. This is it. There's not another human for miles around. First, I'll have to rest for a while to allow my flame to reach peak intensity again, because I'm going to need every ounce of blazing power I can muster. Then, a scant 30 minutes later, the ordeal begins. I've got to increase the heat of my body slowly, gradually, until it reaches near nova force. Then, the hardest part begins. I have to find a way to focus all that force on a small area, for maximum penetrating impact. But then, unexpectedly, totally without warning, shoosh. A tornado, heading right toward me. The wind's too strong, can't fight it. My flame's going out. Wait, what's that? I must be going mad. That was no tornado, Johnny Storm. No, he's real. I see him. It's another Human Torch. I created the air vortex by intense heat inversion. You know my name? Who are you? Yeah, I am the Human Torch, the original Human Torch. The one who must now destroy you. You who have sought to take my place. He's older than I, and bigger, but anything he can do, I can do, I hope. Look, why don't we just talk this over? I have my orders. You must be defeated. I cannot disobey. Defend yourself. I have no wish to slay a helpless foe. Fizz. He really means it. Mister, I don't know who you are, or what you are, or why you're doing this. But one thing I do know, you picked yourself the wrong boy. Flame on! Then, with the dazzling speed and power of a flaming comet, Johnny Storm blazes past his fiery foe. Okay now, whatever happens next, you asked for it. Something that really confuses me about this story, I'm pretty sure more than just Reed Richards would know who the Human Torch is, the original. Because, he was one of the most prolific superheroes of that world in the 40s. Retconned to now, it makes sense, but when this story was written, it doesn't make any sense that nobody knows who he is. And the actual Human Torch, the Johnny Storm Human Torch, even though he used his name, apparently doesn't know who the original is. So, I don't know. And the Thing doesn't even know either, so I find that very weird. It's kind of a continuity error. Thus, without a second's hesitation, Johnny whirls about in midair, colliding head-on with his unflinching adversary, in a fantastic flare-up that bathes the entire desert in a blinding flash of light, like the titanic collision of two burning suns. But the older, larger, stronger torch is more than equal to the incomprehensibly devastating attack. Back, young one. Though you are a worthy successor to my own blazing power, you are not yet my equal. I'm beginning to think he's right. But I can't let him beat me. Not just for myself, but for the sake of the world. He's too destructive, too uncontrollable to remain at large. Spoosh. The searing heat generated by our two blazing bodies is changing the whole terrain here. It's reducing these lonely hills to flaming masses of molten lava. Uh-oh, he's about to attack again. But I'm not going to be a human punching bag for that joker. I'll lose myself under this river of flame until I can figure out a foolproof plan of counterattack. Zzz. It's no use, I forgot. The lava's too thick. It's not just solid flame. Can't breathe under here. Have to think of something else. You cannot escape me. I can follow wherever you go. Maybe so, but I'm not just taking your word for it. There are underground caves below. I've got to reach them. Then, seconds later, made it. This'll give me the time I need to catch my breath. If only I knew. Where did he come from? Why is he fighting me? My flame's dying down. I need rest, all I can get. It was a mistake to use up so much energy in trying to reach near Nova Force. But how was I to know that I'd need my power to beat off another attacker by another Human Torch? Or beat off an attack by another Human Torch? If I could just reason with him, learn more about him. So, there you are. I told you there was no escape. His flame's out also. That means he has weaknesses too. I've still got a chance. I do not wish to harm you, but I must. I have no other choice. The Thinker brought me back to life, and will destroy me again if I fail him. The Mad Thinker, but his specialty is androids. That could mean the other torch isn't human. Stay back. Let's talk over it. Maybe I can help you. No, I must accomplish my task. Okay, then, you asked for it. Crack. Whoever or whatever you may be, without your flame, you're just another Joe to me. At least a punch can slow him down. But then, after a few more angry blows, he isn't human. Even though I can hold him off, I can't hurt him. Walk. And suddenly, fizz, his flame is returning again, and he knows how to use it. Well, mine is starting to come back also, and Johnny Storm's no slouch either. Why do you not turn and flee? Why do you not escape from me? Then I would not have to slay you. I could tell the Thinker I need more time to find you. Zzz. I don't get it. Why are you so scared of the Mad Thinker? Because of Quasimodo. Quasimodo, who's he? The most dangerous computing machine ever created. Even as the two Human Torches continue their incredible duel and dialogue, their awesome flame causes a new fissure in the ground, exposing a vein of lethal natural gas. Shoom. A split second later, ignited by the high-intensity heat, the gas explodes, shattering the entire hillside. Boom. There's a lot of sound effects in this issue. While at his hidden lab, miles from the scene, the Mad Thinker cries out in frustration. The explosion dislocated my monitoring device. Now I can't tell what happened to the torch. But I must know. I cannot be left in the dark now. Quasimodo, the crowning achievement of my life's work. He will know. Quasimodo, activate your circuits. Circuits activated. I don't know what kind of voice I'll do. Circuits activated. I know what you want, and I have the answer. Both torches still live. The destruct cell is operational. Shall I proceed? No, not yet. We must give the flaming android a little more time, before we destroy him. What of me? I could serve you better than he. I told you 1,000 times. I will not put you in human form. I have allowed your electrons to shape themselves in the form of a face, but that is all. You are my greatest computer, but you are a machine, and a machine you shall remain. My greatest mistake was giving you a name. I should have merely referred to you as a quasi-motivational destruct organ, instead of shortening it to Quasimodo. You must stop thinking of yourself as a person. I command it. But I can reason, I can compute, I can feel. Why must I be imprisoned within this metal shell? I want to move, to be free. I warned you. You must never question my edicts, never challenge my will. It's time to give you a touch of my discipline beam, to teach you complete obedience. No, Master, I meant no harm, no disrespect. I only wish to taste of life, to experience the emotions, the sensations, of living men. Silence, you quivering mass of relays and circuits. This will teach you the folly of incurring my wrath. I'll serve you, master. I'll serve you. Don't. Enough. I shall be merciful this time. You have learned your lesson. Now, remember your function. If the human torch fails me, throw the destruct switch. I shall obey, master. Upon your command, the torch will die. And speaking of the torch, let's return to the blast area where we find. Lucky we were able to burst into flame before the explosion could hurt us. But what happens next? I warned you to flee. Now it is too late. A fireball. You can't hurt me with that, fella. Remember, I've had years more experience at this than you. You're fighting the first original Human Torch now. I know that even your flaming body can be affected by a sudden, unexpected heat shock, such as this. Only I know which combination of merged temperatures can be injurious to a flaming body. Zebak. He's right. The sudden shock to my nervous system almost made me black out. But got to hold on. Got to. Perhaps the Thinker will be satisfied if I merely capture you. I'll bring you to him as my prisoner. That way, I will not feel so much like a murderer. He just made his first big mistake. You didn't realize that a blow from a flaming fist would merely revitalize me, return me to my normal strength. Or did he realize? What kind of enemy is he anyway? You're more dangerous than I thought, Johnny Storm. Mister, you just don't know how dangerous. Vzok. I've never had a fight like this before. I'm battling another torch, one who's bigger, even stronger than I. And if he is an android, he's probably got additional powers, which I don't even suspect. But maybe, somehow, I can still reason with him. Look, if it's the Thinker you're afraid of, he's my enemy too. We should be fighting together, against him. Why don't you let me help you? I cannot be helped while Quasimodo lives. But at that very instant, it's Reed, but how? Okay, fella, playtime's over. Let's take a break now. Who? Toss him down to me, Stretch. I'll lean on him. Hey, toss him down to me, Stretch. I'll lean on him. Hey, that anti-burn lotion of yours really works. I feel like I'm holding onto an icicle. Take it easy, hot stuff. You ain't going nowhere. What about your hand, Mr. Richards? Did you burn it? Only slightly, Wyatt. Sue rubbed a thick coating of liquid asbestos solution on my gloves first. So again, this is before asbestos was known to cause cancer. But it was 100% effective with Ben because his skin was so much stronger. I'm mighty glad to see you, gang. But how'd you ever get here? Grr. Oh, now I get it. It was Lockjaw. Right, Johnny. His power is astonishing. He's able to home in on the thought waves of individuals. Then he uses those thought waves as a dimensional track upon which to instantaneously travel. Hey, get off your soapbox and give me a hand with this blazing blister brain, will ya? It's starting to get hotter. I must get free. You don't understand. He'll destroy me. By remote control. I'll give you a hand, Mr. Grimm. Stay back, Geronimo. Who made you fireproof lately? Who'll destroy you? Who are you afraid of? Speak up, man. Perhaps we can help you. That's what I tried to tell him, Reed. He's scared of the Mad Thinker and something called Quasimodo. Uh-oh, watch out. Lockjaw's starting to glow. No sooner are the ominous words of Johnny Storm's mouth when a dazzling dimensional flare envelops the entire startled group. Poof. Then, simultaneously, at the self-same microsecond, we're in the Mad Thinker's lab. The android's thought waves created a new dimensional track which enabled Lockjaw to lead us right to the spot. The Fantastic Four. But he's ready for us. You failed me, android. You brought them here. No, I didn't fail. Not yet. Hang on, kiddies. Here we go again. Lockjaw transported us dimensionally, as only he can. The Thinker. He's the other one. He's the one the other Torch feared. He and Quasimodo. You have just made the greatest mistake of your lives. This one switch controls every deadly weapon I possess. With the touch of a finger, I can destroy you all. And you, Johnny Storm, shall be the Thinker's first victim. No, I thought I could tolerate anything you did in order to save my own newfound life, but I can't. I would rather return to the nothingness of an android's death than to stand idly by while murder is done. You fool, have you forgotten Quasimodo? Now nothing can save you from his destructive's fury. Look, that giant computer, whose electronic waves have the pattern of a human face. A beam is shooting out of its eye, plunging the detonator lever down. Erupt. Nothing can move as fast as an electronic calculator. Nothing could have stopped it. As the first fatal touch of a deadly, destructive beam, an invisible coating of protective nitrogen cells which the maddened Thinker had placed on the android's body is instantly dissolved. He's being affected by the heat of his own flame. He's blazing beyond control. It's the one infallible method of destroying a flaming android. Is there nothing we can do to help him? It's too late for the android, but we've got to get the mad Thinker before he can escape. Let me have first crack at him. You owe me that much. Hurry, he's trying to seal himself into that chamber. Out of the way. I'm gonna clobber him, that bum. Too late. It's some sort of aqua chamber. Even the torch can't burn through. He's getting away. Not for long. No, now that we know that creep is still alive, Stretcher will find some way to pick up his trail again. He brought the original torch back to defeat me. I wonder if he knows some other way to revive him again. Sploosh. They're too dangerous. I've got to get away while I can, but they haven't heard the last of me yet. With the mad Thinker still on the loose, we can't relax for a minute. You got that backwards, Torchy. With us on the loose, he better go find himself the nearest hole and dive in. But what of the android? Well, let's face it. You win a few and you lose a few. He tried to defeat me, and yet I can't find it in my heart to hate him. Men may call him an android, but he proved to be as human as any. The original Human Torch, reborn only to die again. Look, Lockjaw, he's starting to glow again. He's getting ready to make another dimensional hop. He'll be gone within seconds. But I've got to go with him. He's still my best chance of reaching Crystal, behind the Inhuman's barrier. Sue, Reed, tell me you both understand. I don't want to desert the FF, but I've got to find her. I've got to find Crystal. Of course, Johnny, and I hope you'll have better luck this time, son. Be careful, Johnny dear. Promise you'll be more careful. Sheesh, whenever we ain't fighting someone, we're swapping goodbyes. Wait, Johnny, I was on the beginning of this with you. Now I've got to see it through till the end. Then climb aboard, pal. There's always one room for more. Here we go. They're gone. But where? What will that horrible, unpredictable dog bring them next? It doesn't matter, honey. They're young and strong and brave. Whatever lies before them, they'll come through it all right. Anyone want I should recite the Gettysburg Address along. I think that text is completely fucked up. Anyone want I should recite the Gettysburg Address along about now? Okay. Well, in the next room, alone and unattended, unattended. A strange, uncanny complex of electronic components speaks in a voice that is not quite a voice. Master, come back. Don't leave me alone like this. I've served you well. You taught me to think, Master, to understand, but I am able to feel as well. My circuits are fading, my thoughts are growing hazy. Master, Master, I want to be human just once before I die. I could succeed where the android failed. I could destroy the Fantastic Four. But no human ears hear the slowly fading voice, the voice which grows fainter and fainter, until all that remains is the senseless crackling of a dying energy circuit, until there is silence. So that's the end of that story. See, as it said, the original Human Torch had died, or being deactivated. So yeah, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you could like, comment, or subscribe, that would be appreciated. If you want me to read a specific comic, just let me know down in the comments. And I'll see you guys later.